He said, you know what I'm doing now? I said, yes, catching fucking herpes. He said, that fanny of yours, it's big, isn't it? 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 I said, there's no need to keep repeating yourself. He said, that's the fucking echo. I said to him, whilst I'm here, I'd like to talk about having the coil fitted. He said, the size of that old dolly, you could have fucking carpets fitted. Oh, I said, you are wicked to me, Doc. I said, you are terrible to me. I said, I've known you years and you're speaking to me like that. He said, we've got a new procedure now. He said, see that full-length mirror over there? I said, yes. He said, I want you to do a handstand in front of the mirror. Oh, what an odd request. So I rather reluctantly walked over to the mirror and I did a handstand in front of the mirror. There I was, upside down, looking in the mirror. The doctor walked up behind me, pulled my legs apart like this. He started to have a dig downstairs. Well, it was upstairs then. He said, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, dear. He said, does your urine burn? I said, I don't know, I've never tried to fucking set fire to it. He said, are you feeling any pain? I said, doctor, would you kindly remove your ring? He said, that's not my ring, that's my wristwatch. And then he went a bit closer, I got embarrassed. The blood wasn't just rushing to me head, girls. Oh, I was embarrassed, and all the time he's looking in the mirror, looking at me lady garden, looking in the mirror, looking at me lady bits, looking, and he... looking in the mirror, looking... He said, you can go and put your clothes back on now. Well, I went and put my clothes back. I was embarrassed. I didn't know what to do. I came out, I said, Doctor, I sat at his desk. I said, Doctor, what's the verdict then, darling? What's wrong with Mama? He said, well, I know what the problem is, my dear. He said, you have mild incontinence. I said, really? He said, yes, it's nothing to worry about. You know, take these tablets and don't drink anything before you go to bed. I said, but then what was this business with me? Upside down, you looking in the mirror, looking at me lady garden, looking in the mirror up close and personal, looking in the mirror, looking at me lady garden. He said, yes, my wife was right. A beard would suit me. Well, I'm telling you, boys and girls, I jumped out of that place. I jumped on the number 42 bus. I got off outside my house. Things went from bad to worse. Because as soon as I got off the bus, I skidded and slipped on a great big dog shit. Straight on my arse. Well, 2 minutes later, a fellow walked down the same street, and he skidded and slipped on that very same dog shit. Straight on his arse. I walked over to him, I said, you know what, I just did that. He rubbed me fucking nose in it. There I am, all covered in dog shit. I want to get into the house. I'm embarrassed, you see. Well, my next door neighbour, she's a nosy cow. She really is. And she was twitching the nicotine-stained necks. I'm trying to put the key in the door. She comes out. She goes, Bella! I said, oh, hello, darling. She goes, Bella, I'm going to ask you a question. She goes, every morning when your husband leaves for work, she says, why do you kiss his dick goodbye? I said, you haven't smelt his fucking breath. I said, I'll tell you what, I look forward to his farts. But I can't be too rude to him, boys and girls. I can't be too rude to him, because it was our anniversary. Yes, lovely. Our anniversary, it was lovely. Yes, indeed. And he said, I've got a surprise for you, my dear. I said, a surprise? He said, yes, a surprise. I said, oh, lovely, a surprise, love, I love surprises. He said, what is it? He said, go and look in the living room. And there on the IKEA sideboard was this big white box, you see. He said, go over to it, to it. I went over there. I said, I can't believe it. He said, don't take the lid off of it. So I did. He said, take the wrapping off of it. So I did. And there it was, girls, its fabulous white fur coat. I said, try it on. So I did. Well, I was walking up and down in the living room, catching my reflection in the mirror. Feeling like Marilyn Monroe. He said to me, here. He said, I hope you know. He said, your knickers are coming down. I said, no, they're not. He said, well, that fucking coat's going back then. I said, there's no need to be horrible to me. He said, what would you really like for your anniversary present? I said, well, I'll tell you what I want. I want what all the Hollywood actresses are having. He said, a boob job? I said, no. Tummy tuck? I said, no. Don't be so cheeky. He said, tell me what you want. I said, I want what Angelina Jolie's had. I want a designer vagina. He said, I'll pay for it. I said, really? Yes. He said, what do you want to design a vagina for? I said, I want a couple of inches off the bottom of my curtains. He said, no problem. Money's no object. He said, you go in, I'll check you in tomorrow, you can go and have it done. I said, marvellous, isn't that wonderful? I went in and I had the operation done. All girls, I was sore. I don't recommend it. I was sore. And when I came out from after the operation, I had a lampshade around my head. I felt like a prat, I did. I said, nurse, I said, well, I've got this lampshade around my head. She said, we don't want you biting the stitches out, do we? And she came in with this big bunch of flowers. Oh, I said, are they from my Johnny? Is it his way of telling me he loves me? She said, no. She said, they're from Mr. Smith in the ward next door. He wants to thank you for the new ears. So, of course, now I've got this new designer vagina, haven't I? I haven't told the old man, but I've decided to become a lady of the late night. A woman of loose virtue. A fucking slag, basically. Yes, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to tell you, I've got a confession to make to you all tonight. Can I get you something, darling? Like a fucking watch? And walks through in Primark. This is what gets me. Wearing all the labels, clearance. Anyway. Hello. Oh, you look like a humbug. Ready for sucking. Anyway, no. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I have become, in a time of recession, girls, I've turned to the oldest profession in the books. I've become a prostitute. Oh, yeah. But I can justify my actions. Being a prostitute is better than being a drug dealer, isn't it? Yay! Yes, of course it is, because at least I can wash my crack and sell it again. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a fabulous little show lined up for you tonight, with a whole host of famous faces and figures that you are certainly going to recognise when you see them.